Chitty came back in here again, new video. Yo, my subscribers went up. Shout out to y'all. I went from 19 to 22. I wonder what you guys are looking at. Put a comment below of what y'all looking at, and let me know. Let me know more what y'all want to see in the channel also, because you know, like, this is a community. So let's get it. So right now, I'm driving. Obviously, headed back to the crib. Been a good day so far. Doing deliveries. So with this video, I don't know how long it's gonna be, honestly. It could be 10 minutes long, probably more than likely, and y'all gonna enjoy it because you know there's good energy. You know what I'm talking about. So I just want to let y'all know one thing, right? Every day, every moment, every second is a chance for you to like better yourself. I know it sounds like, you know, I'm always saying this, but at the end of the day, this is the truth. There's certain things you go through that either make or break you, right? And if this like breaks you, then it's for you to come back new. And if it makes you, then pretty much you absorb whatever it was that was going on. And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to how much can you like push past anything. Literally, like push past, like, I mean, like whatever being, I mean, racism, push whatever you guys are going through. It's how much of it can you guys take until you guys push past it. You know, because like there's a lot of times that people believe that, you know, they're being targeted, but most times people who are like speaking down on you or talking to you a certain kind of way, it's not personal, it's just business. Like, that's one thing you have to realize. You can't expect people to give you the love that you have, you know, because like that's the love that you yourself have specifically. So whatever you want to think about, meaning like, oh, you know, I'm being targeted, oh, you know, this person like me because of this and that and all this other excess stuff that could be happening, you know. It's not so much that, it's just business. Like, sometimes people get fired from a job because whatever, somebody might hate them. It's not personal, it's just business. Like, at the end of the day, like, I remember when I worked, where did I work? Oh, my last job I worked before being an independent contractor doing deliveries. I used to work at a store called Buffalo Exchange, and it was in New York, in the city and stuff, right? And I remember like the whole thing with COVID, fucking bullshit was happening, and everybody went on a leave. Like the store closed down for a good amount of time, and then from there we couldn't work, and then we went under furlough, which is pretty much like you get your last paycheck, and if the store opens back up, like they might bring you back. So in reality, to me, I'm like, okay, time to find something else to do, because one, that's not working for me if I have no income coming in, and two, the job was getting stale anyway. The job was getting stale for two reasons. The first reason, they wanted you to do so much to get 2 quarters or not even $1 raise. So it felt like fucking slavery. And it's up to you how much of a slave you want to be to the dollar. And on top of that, at the job they had dental. They had dental and what's it called again? And healthcare. So on top of getting paid nonsense, right? And on top of living in New York, they took out the healthcare if you signed up for it, and they took out the dental care if you signed up for it. So your check looked horrible. Everybody's hours were limited to a certain number, because, you know, they couldn't go over hours, because the store wasn't making money like they thought it was gonna make. Mind you, this store originated in Arizona. It was like a thrift shop, right? So I don't know why you believe that bringing your store to New York and having your store in the staple of New York City, and you can't even imagine how much rent costs, and everything else, like everything else that it costs to put into the store, all these different things. So I was just thinking in my head, like, I don't know, it came to my head now to tell you guys about this, but it's like, how much can you endure? Like how much is it worth for you to go to work? What's your price tag? Cause everybody has a price. Think about this. Everybody has a price. The reason certain people still work at a certain job is because the price isn't too low. It's just right. So they have no problem going to work Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, Monday to Saturday, whatever schedule you have. They have no problem doing that because they have to pay bills. Obviously, it's a grown-up thing to do. And they have these different things they got to take care of. So the job, even though they might hate it, it allows them to pay their bills. This is why I feel like it's so important to have different streams of income. It's so important to think outside of the norm, because most times people don't want to try something new. People don't want to try to fail. People like wouldn't go broke for themselves, but they go broke for a company. Like, it's very strange. Like, you gotta think about all these things. Like, it's in your mind to be in fear of the unknown, right? That's one. So when you're in fear of the unknown and you're trying to figure out, okay, you know, if I don't go to work, how am I going to eat? How am I going to feed my kids? How am I going to feed myself? How am I going to pay the rent? You know, these are all issues, that everybody has, right? But it all depends on how hard or how much are you willing to do. Like, how much of soul searching are you willing to do instead of going to a certain job at a certain time, knowing you got an hour to eat, knowing that, you know, your commute could be an hour on the train, on a bus, or you just driving. Like, how much are you going to allow yourself to go through in order for you to, until, like, you know, enough is enough. Like, until enough is enough. And you really got to think about this, because, like, for instance, most people's breaking point only comes to them once they've literally, like, been beaten down to the ground, and they've been through all the different emotions that one can go through, and just all the different problems one can go through. And it's these moments when you have to, like, really, like, push through. You really gotta think, like, okay, you know, I'm going through it right now, but, you know, like, it really all comes down to, what do you as a person truly want to do? Because a lot of times, I'm not gonna lie, like, if you don't want to do anything, you just want to go to work and just keep making your money in that way, then that's all on you. But the job does not actually have security. Like, a lot of people believe that job security is real. Guys, I talk about it over and over again. AI is going to take everybody's job over. Like, they already have, I mean, I was doing research, they already have, ChatGPT, $20 a month. You can ask it questions and it can write a whole script for you. It's pretty much like having a super robot next to you, or you're talking to just find out different things. Like, you can ask all kinds of different questions, stuff like that. There's also the trial version. Then Windows came out with their own version called Llama 2, which, not Windows, sorry. That's the Meta version. So Meta meaning like the Facebook, what used to be Facebook or whatever. It's called Llama 2, and it's pretty much like along the same lines. So when you think about it, and people like who want to be like, oh, you know, my job still have security, you know, I'll get a pension, all different stuff. Like, I don't think people understand that, like, the dollar is losing money. Pensions are, to me, is not real unless, like, you're older, like you're in your 40s, 50s or something like that, and you've been there for a good 20, 30 years. Maybe you might get a pension. Maybe you might get the money that, maybe you might get that money back. But it kind of all depends on you. Like, what will be your breaking point to know that, okay, you know, I've been busting my ass here, and I'm going to funnel the money that I made. I'm going to save the money that I made or whatever and push it towards something I actually want to do. Like, whether that's selling your art online, whether that's selling books that you've written, whether that's selling the paintings that you've done, whether that's you doing commissions, and, you know, like, now you learn sculpting. Like, there's all tons of different things that somebody can learn to do. There's different hobbies. Like, most time people's hobbies become like their full-time job when you put enough emphasis on it and you market it the correct way and you take time to understand. Like, pretty much, like, let's say you wanted to be an artist, right? Or you are an artist. All you have to truly do is go on social media or go on YouTube and just see different people that market their art or do art, and then from there, you know, like, the wheels will start turning, and you'll figure out, oh, you know, I'm gonna follow these steps that this person did because they're somewhere that I want to be. And that's what life comes down to. Like, it comes down to getting a mentor. It comes down to you understanding that, you know, I have to make the change in my life. I have to be the one to maneuver through life. I have to be the one to make sure that I am going to be okay. This is what it comes down to. And I love y'all. And this is the video. Part 2 coming soon.